Thanks. Together we are home. And I'm just so grateful to know that right here, right now, we are in the presence of Spirit, that no matter where we are, Spirit is right where we are. And that we have this opportunity today to come together, to celebrate this spiritual family, this spiritual community. I'm so grateful for each heart and each hand who has come together to make this service possible. And I just know that Reverend Leah's message just touches each one of us today at the heart of who we are, bringing that message of freedom, of love, of power that Spirit brings to our lives. And so knowing that this service is blessed, that each one of us participating, watching at any time is truly blessed, and that there is love circulating here at all times. I just say, and so it is. Amen.
Think we are, wherever we think we're headed, whatever we're going through right now. There's a truth behind it all, about the stuff we're really made of, and that greatest truth of all is that in His image God has made us. And if that's true, just think about what it says for me and you. God is light, and so are we. God is love, and so are we. God is life, and so are we. It's true that cannot be denied. God is power, and so are we. God is peace, and so are we. God is beauty and joy, and so are we. That's the truth of ourselves, and the truth of all mankind. Whoever we think we are, wherever we think we're headed, whatever we're going through right now, there's a truth behind it all, about the stuff we're really made of. And the greatest truth of all is that in His image God has made us. And if that's true, just think about what it says for me and you. God is light, and so are we. God is love, and so are we. God is light, and so are we. It's truth that cannot be denied. God is power, and so are we. God is peace, and so are we. God is beauty and joy, and so are we. That's the truth of ourselves, and the truth of all mankind. God is is life, and so are we. God is love, and so are we. God is life, and so are we. It's truth that cannot be denied. God is power, and so are we. God is peace, and so are we. God is beauty and joy, and so are we. That's the truth of ourselves and the truth of all mankind.
Beautiful, Jimmy. Thank you. Great words. Wow, and I love the drum on the guitar there. Awesome. Good morning, everyone. So glad to be with you this beautiful day. Happy 4th of July. Let's harmonize our hearts and minds as we do every Sunday. Let's just begin by taking some deep breaths. Breathing in light and love and all good things. And let's say these words together: care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. Care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. So today is a day of fireworks and scared little doggies. Yes, backyard barbecues, gatherings with friends and family, celebrating our freedom. But it isn't a celebration for all. I think it's important for us to recognize that. And so I want to start my talk today by acknowledging that. When the Declaration of Independence was signed on July 4th, 1776, there were hundreds of thousands of slaves that were still held in captivity. So although today and signing of the Declaration of Independence, although it signified freedom and independence for all, it didn't include Blacks. It didn't include Native Americans whose land was taken from them. And so I don't think that we can celebrate this day as Americans without acknowledging this. Freedom and independence was not experienced by all back then, and unfortunately, it still isn't to this day. And so I invite you at some point today during your celebrations with your family and with your friends to just take a moment to pause and to reflect and to hold an intention and a prayer for the future of this country, where everyone is free and equality is experienced by all. So please join me in holding this vision for our country and for humanity as a whole. Thank you. You know, we can recognize the pain of the past, and it's important to acknowledge it, whether it's about the pain of our country or our own pain. As I talked about this last month, the pain is what pushes us to create a vision that is larger than the pain. If you think about it in your own life, when you've been in those places, those dark places, at some point there is a light. At some point there is something that opens in us as we move toward a future, and a vision begins to pull us forward. The pain provides an opening to look ahead and to create a vision that inspires us and excites us. Today's topic is about that. It's about being pulled by vision. Rumi said, humankind is being led along an evolving course through this migration of intelligences, and though we seem to be sleeping, there is an inner wakefulness that directs the dream and that will eventually startle us back to the truth of who we are. The truth of who we are is something that radiates within us, and it pulls us forward. There's a vision within each one of us. And when we're pulled by it, we're inspired, we're lifted up, we're excited about what's possible for our life. This is why organizations create vision statements, because it pulls the organization forward. I'm going to read a couple of examples that inspired me. The Alzheimer's Association, a world without Alzheimer's. The Human Rights Campaign, equality for everyone. Habitat for Humanity, a world where everyone has a decent place to live. If you notice, each one of these are declarative statements. It isn't something in the future. They're not saying, I want this or I hope for this. They're declaring it right here and right now. Powerful, simple, and inspiring. I now want to read to you Centers for Spiritual Living's global vision. And as I read it, I want you to just pay attention to how it feels in your body. I shortened it a bit. CSL Global Vision. We envision humanity awakening to its spiritual magnificence, a world where every person discovers their own personal power. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. We envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social conscience in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors. We envision a world where each person has enough food, a home, and a sense of belonging, a world of peace, harmony, and justice. We envision a world in which resources are valued, cared for, and grown, and where there is generous and continuous sharing of these resources. We envision a world culture in which forgiveness is the norm. We envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. I chose to read this vision because it truly is such a beautiful example of the power of vision. The power of it and how it carries us, it pulls us forward. Whether it was the Alzheimer's Association, Habitat for Humanity, or the Human Rights Campaign, every single one of them, all of them have in common their focus on impacting the world. And when we hear them, if you noticed it in your body, there's movement there. There's inspiration, there's excitement about what is possible. They inspire us because they're focused on a cause. They're focused on what they believe and their core purpose. You can hear it in the statements. Author and inspirational speaker Simon Sinek defines this as their why. He wrote a great book called Start With Why. And he says our why is what we believe. It's our purpose. It's the cause that we believe in. He says that less successful leaders and companies define themselves based on what they do and how they do it, rather than why they do it. He says that the most successful companies and people always start with why, because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Each of us has a why. We just maybe haven't articulated it yet. But it's within each and every one of us. And when we're able to divine that for ourselves, our life suddenly has more meaning. It has more purpose. Simon Sinek defines his own why as this: to inspire people to do things that inspire them. My why is to inspire people to live a heart-centered life. Uncovering our why is an awesome thing. Because once we've discovered it, it becomes the reason we are here, our purpose for living. It's our vision for our life. To uncover our why, Simon says that it involves reflecting on two things: the reason we exist and behave as we do, and the reason we get out of bed every day. And so ask yourself these questions. Why am I here? Why do I exist in this space, at this time, on this plane of existence? Why do I exist? And why do I get out of bed every day? What is that thing within you that is pulling you? What is that thing that is inspiring you? So it begins by reflecting on these questions, taking them into your meditation time, journaling about them. And soon a purpose is revealed. Your why becomes clear. And as we uncover it for ourselves, we begin to engage with life in a whole different way. We experience more joy, more happiness, and more enthusiasm for living. Many of you have probably heard of the story of the Golden Buddha. Over 300 years ago, the Burmese army planned an attack to invade Thailand. The Siamese monks were in possession of the most beautiful, amazing Buddha statue. It was made of 18-karat gold. It was 10 feet tall and weighed more than 5 tons. This was such a precious statue to the monks that they were determined to protect it no matter what. And so what they did is they covered the Buddha with 12 inches of clay, knowing that the warriors would totally ignore it and think that it was worthless. Sadly, the monks were slaughtered in the invasion. And the secret of the Golden Buddha, it stayed hidden for more than 200 years. It wasn't until the mid-1950s when the statue was being moved and a piece of the clay fell off. And it revealed this gold thing underneath. And so they took off all the clay and they uncovered this extraordinary Buddha, Golden Buddha statue, worth more than $250 million. Lying deep within us, all of us, every single one of us, is that Golden Buddha. It represents the light that each of us came here to share with the world. And it needs to be revealed. The clay needs to be chipped away to uncover what is underneath, what is shining so brightly within us. Elizabeth Lesser said, "There's a gold kernel of truth within each of us. It is the marrow of who you really are. It is right there, your true self, your soul self, shimmering and powerful, free of fear, clean of envy, clear of purpose." Each of us came into the world with a purpose, I believe. And I think we actually have multiple purposes. But there's one that lives deep within us that we are expressing every day in our interactions with our family and friends. It shows up in everything we do. We just maybe not even, or we're just not aware of it. We haven't articulated what that is, but it is there. It's what we came into the world to express. Dr. Martin Luther King was definitely someone who was pulled by vision. He was clear, crystal clear about his vision for the world, that all men were created equal. And if he were alive today, he would perhaps say all humans are created equal. His vision gave him the strength and the determination to fight for what he believed in, even though he was repeatedly thrown in jail. He was clear about his why, and it inspired a civil rights movement that changed the world. Now, our vision doesn't have to be as big as Martin Luther King's, but each of us has a vision for our life, and any moment we can get in touch with that and uncover it. Like the Golden Buddha, it is right there within us, beneath the surface. It wants to shine, it wants to show itself. It wants to be known because it is something that touches not only our lives, but it has far-reaching effects that can touch all of humanity. Spirit knows our truth. It knows why we are here on this plane of existence and what our purpose is. It knows the highest vision for our life, and we can tap into that presence and uncover what our vision is. And there's no better partner to help us than the divine within. Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith developed a process to help us connect with this powerful force within us called life visioning. We use this visioning process when we want clarity about something in our life. We first center ourselves in meditation, and with our intention, we connect with the divinity within us, that beautiful light that is there within the center of our very being. Once we feel that connection and our heart is open and receptive, then we ask a series of questions. What is Spirit's highest vision for my life? What must I become in order to manifest this vision? What qualities must I cultivate? What qualities must I release? What talents, gifts, skills, and qualities do I already possess that will serve this vision? I'm having Brooke put those questions into the chat in case you want to save them for later and come back and reflect on them. So after you go through the questions, you pause after each one. You allow whatever wants to be said, whatever wants to come through, comes through. We listen with an open and full heart, knowing that whatever we receive is absolutely perfect. The visioning process is a tool that has supported tens of thousands of people, individually and as part of spiritual communities. It's become part of probably just about every CSL community across the world. And in fact, we use this same technique every month. A small group of us get together, headed up by our wonderful practitioner, Jelaine Arnold, and we vision for the future of NTNC. What's powerful about this process is that the answers don't come from our head. They come from a deeper part within us. They come from the divinity within us. And if we can fully step out of the way, setting aside our human desire to analyze, to think and process, and we allow Spirit to speak to us, it's amazing what can come through. So we're all going to try this together. It's helpful if you have a pen and paper handy, but it's not necessary. So wherever you are, if you're comfortable, closing your eyes and just focusing on your breath. Just breathing in and out, allowing your breath to calm your being, to calm your mind. Allow it to bring you fully into the stillness. And bring your awareness into the center of your being, the place within your heart. See in your mind's eye, imagine that there is this white light that is there within the center of your being, pulsating, radiating. This is the divine within you. Feel the warmth of this light and the love that radiates from it so beautifully and profoundly. Feel the unending flow of God's love radiating through every cell of your entire being as it pulsates from this center point. Feel a calm and peaceful energy wash over you as you connect with this loving presence. And now from this centered place, ask the following question. What is Spirit's highest vision for my life? Keep intentionally connecting with this presence within you. If your mind wanders or wants to interfere, just gently bring it back to your heart and to the divinity within. And ask again, what is Spirit's highest vision for my life? And just receive with an open heart. Notice what comes, trust what comes, It might be words, it might be colors, it might be feelings, pictures, things your intellectual mind doesn't understand. Trust whatever comes to you. Continue to breathe and keep opening yourself to receive whatever message from Spirit is meant just for you. And if nothing comes, trust that as well. What is Spirit's highest vision for my life? You may want to jot down anything that is coming through so that you can return to this and reflect even more. And so we give thanks. We give thanks for the messages that came through for each person here, knowing that they are beautiful gifts from the divine and that they will continue to bring to us the absolute perfect messages for each one of us, blessing our life with the vision that is unique for each one of us. So try not to analyze what came through for you. Just be with it. You can return back to this question at any time. The key is to get yourself into that meditative state. And when you feel that connection to Spirit, ask your questions and then trust what shows up. When we have a vision for our life, it gives us meaning. It creates excitement. It creates joy within us. It gives us a reason for living. This is why vision boards are popular. It's why visualization is popular, because it puts us into that state of anticipating our good. Through the pictures in our mind or the pictures that we put on our vision boards, they inspire us, they uplift us. In the moments when we're focusing on our vision, it's interesting what happens. Resistant thought disappears. Because we're so focused on what's possible, there is no resistant thought. There is no thought that says, oh no, I can't do this. Oh no, this isn't possible. Our energy is completely focused on what we want to experience, on what we desire for our life, and we affirm it, that it's happening right now, right here in this very moment. This is why affirmative prayer is so powerful. We're not saying we want something to happen. We're not saying, well, I hope that this will happen in my life. We declare it. We say, I know that this is unfolding for my life right now. What we focus on expands. Where we place our attention and our energy and our thoughts expands. So wherever we are placing our thoughts, know that that is going to expand. So if we focus on our vision and we focus on our why and we focus on what's possible for our life, we focus on our success and our abundance and our health and the energy within us that is growing within us, then that is what we are going to experience. More of that. We say things like, I'm working in a job that is fulfilling and pays me X amount every year. We claim it for ourselves. Rather than I want to experience radiant health, I am experiencing radiant health. And if you state it out loud, the difference, you can hear the difference between the two. I want to experience this. I want to experience success versus I am experiencing success. One is a wish and the other is a declaration. Ernest Holmes, our founder, talked about praying with conviction. There's a reason for that. When we pray and we say, well, God, I know you're here. I know you're with me. I know that I'm supported. Okay, that's nice. Or we say, I know that that divine presence of all that is supporting my life in every way. I know that that divine essence of spirit moves within me and expresses and creates all that I desire and more. Do you hear the difference? Rosabeth Moss Cantor said, a vision is not just a picture of what could be. It's an appeal to our better selves, a call to become something more. When we create an affirmative statement, whether it's a vision for an organization, a vision for our lives, or an affirmation related to our health, career, or some other aspect of our life, let's declare it to be so. Let's claim it to be so. Let's know it within the deepest core of our being that it is so right here, right now. So I invite you to have fun with this. Create a vision for your life that moves you, that inspires you, that lifts you up and pulls you forward. Let's know together that the golden Buddha within each of us is uncovered and revealed, and that we are shining the truth of who we are for everyone to see. Because as we do this for ourselves, we give silent permission for others to do the same. And what a beautiful contribution and gift that we can give to our families, to our communities, and to the world. I'm going to close today with an affirmative prayer that we can all do together. Repeat after me. Each moment of my life is new. It is a joy and a delight to uncover Spirit's vision for my life. Knowing it blesses me and supports me in amazing and beautiful ways. Every day I experience the richness and fullness of life. I recognize my life as a magnificent expression of the light within me. The truth of my inner being shines brightly and guides me and supports me on my path. I rejoice and celebrate my radiant health, abundance, and success, knowing it is my divine birthright to experience all that I desire and for all of my needs to be met. I trust the power and intelligence of Spirit, knowing that whatever I need comes to me in the right time, in the right space, and in the right way. May every word I speak be a gift to everyone I encounter. May every breath I breathe bring greater consciousness to all beings. May everything I do serve the greater good of all. May every person experience freedom, equity, and justice. And may we unite as one human family, recognizing the dignity, beauty, and worth of every human being. And so it is. Amen.